Well, Sadiq Khan is the worst mayor of any capital city in the world.
Terrible mayor. And as an example, you know, I was a high-ranking officer, sort of always, or a president. Even as a civilian, you know, I was a respected person. He treated me very badly. Yeah. I said, who is that guy? He's a terrible mayor. And look at the crime you have in London. My mother loved London. She loved that city. She'd always talk about, that was a different London than you have today. Yeah. Today you have people being stabbed in the ass or worse. But no, it's crazy.
It's true. It's awful. Crazy. It is. It feels much safer here.
Your mayor is a disaster. Okay, I can. I don't know him. I don't even know what. If you put him there, I wouldn't even know who he was. I can tell you, he is a disaster. Yeah. He's a nasty person. And he's letting crime go.
Absolutely nailed it, didn't he? President Trump has got Sadiq Khan bang to rights. Our capital city, once the greatest on earth, has descended into a knife crime hellhole where people are getting stabbed in the arse or worse. That is a fact. It is. Because since 2016, the year Khan became mayor, overall rises in knife crime, enabled knife crime in London, has risen by 54%. The statistics don't lie, do they? And Trump goes on to say we now have no-go Sharia law zones in London. Now, whilst we can't say that's entirely accurate, there is some truth in his words. Backroom councils which rule on Muslim marriages have surged in London. In fact, a report by the London Standard suggests there are at least 5 in the capital. Recently, it was stated in the press that they are now operating in Britain so much that it would become the Sharia capital of the West. And when it comes to no-go zones, well, you can make your mind up and have a look at this.
No need for that. We're on the same side, bro.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are, bro.
Not on the same side, eh? Yes, that was taken at a recent counter-protest in Whitechapel. Masked Muslim men marching through the streets in an act of what I think is intimidation, with some reports suggesting men were carrying bats. Trump also calls Khan a nasty man. Well, I don't personally know the mayor very well, so I can't support that statement, but what do you make of this?
So are you saying we haven't got the same sort of gangs that are in Rotherham, Bradford and lots of other places in the country?
Just for your misunderstanding, what does she mean by that?
You know full well what I mean by that. It's all over the television. You know exactly what I mean by that. These gangs of people that are grooming young girls for sex. Do we actually have those in London?
Today, I'm unclear, Chair, what is meant by the question. If you could spell it out, I can answer.
Interesting, isn't it? Well, look, it's important to note, because the left will scream and cry outrage over Trump's comments, that it was Sadiq Khan that started the beef with the president in the first place. On the 10th of December 2015, after Trump's presidential campaign pledged to ban some Muslim countries from travel and visas to the US, following, of course, the terrorist attack in Paris, Sadiq Khan called the ban outrageous on his campaign trail for Mayor of London. He then told the BBC that he hoped Trump loses badly. So it wasn't the president who started this, was it? In fact, even after all of the comments interfering in Trump's election, the magnanimous president on the 10th of May 2016, after Khan was elected Mayor of London, suggested Khan would be exempt from his proposed travel ban, and even added that the election of Sadiq Khan was a good thing. So he wasn't holding any grudges then, was he? But just days later, Khan decided to slam Trump again, calling his views ignorant and that Trump was inadvertently playing into the hands of extremists. He even then went on to say he hoped Hillary Clinton would win. So after all of that, Trump decided that it's not worth being friendly with Sadiq Khan. He then challenged him to an IQ test and stated, "I will remember those statements. They are very nasty statements." A year later, after the terror attacks in Borough Market and London Bridge, Trump suggested in a tweet that Khan has said there was no reason to be alarmed, because Khan has said the public should not be alarmed by the increase in police presence on London's streets. I wonder who you think is right about that one. 1 month later, Khan called on the government to cancel Trump's state visit to the UK, and then bizarrely, in 2017, Khan told The Guardian he was a reluctant participant in this ongoing row with Trump. He even added this: "We're not school children," he said. "He's the president of the United States, so I'm unclear what his beef is with me." Of course, weeks later, he then gave permission for the massive, insulting blimp of Trump to be flown on the streets of London during Trump's first state visit. So much for not being like school children, eh, Sadiq? Well, it's ironic, isn't it, that the mayor is confused as to why there's beef with Trump, seeing as the president didn't ask for his intervention in American foreign and domestic policy. The same comments that actually started this feud in the first place. And even after he was gracious to the mayor continued to attack him. This is where the beef started, Mr. Khan. You seem to suffer from a short-term memory loss. And how can we forget Khan's comments back in 2019 when he said that a Trump's rally was comparable to the fascists of the 20th century? I mean, really, come on. I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Can anyone blame the President of the United States for his feelings towards Sadiq Khan? Not only were his comments in the world-exclusive interview with our Bev Turner mostly absolutely spot on about London, but the mayor himself started the feud and continued to fan the flames even when the President presented an olive branch. Sadiq Khan is not fit to lead our city, a city that has now become a crime statistic explosion since his election, a city that has seen more strikes under his watch than any other mayor in history, a city that sees a rape every hour, where knife crime is soaring, and a city that needs to put warnings of mind the grab along our high streets because of roaming smartphone snatching gangs. Trump is rarely wrong, and I don't think he was wrong because the mayor last night, of course, didn't either. I'm now joined, of course, by my panel to talk about this, journalist and broadcaster Kai Will-Shaw. And, of course, the rest of my panel will join me shortly. Reality TV star AJ Pritchard, author and academic Dr. Lisa McKenzie, and former New Scotland Yard detective Peter Blakeslee. Kai, I'll start with you. We couldn't get any other lefties to come here tonight to defend Sadiq Khan, so you're the best we could do.
I'm the dregs. I'm back again. Can't get enough.
I mean, the mayor has started this feud with Trump. He then forgot he started the feud. Trump's highlighted the statistics of crime. You know, I disagree with a little bit about his no-go zone stuff, but we are seeing more and more of that happening. And I showed you some footage of that. What do you make of Trump's comments?
Look, it's so ridiculous, isn't this? This Twitter feud has gone a bit too far. I think Sadiq Khan and many other politicians in Britain didn't quite realise what they were getting themselves into when they were bloviating and saying all these stupid things, and I think they regret it. Sadiq Khan should have known better. But there is a power imbalance there, right? You know, Donald Trump now blatantly interfering in the capital's politics is pretty different as the sitting president of the United States to Sadiq Khan many years ago saying silly things on Twitter, right? Clearly there's a difference.
Let's cut to the quick here, Kai.
Trump.
Kai, let's cut to the quick, right? We're talking about Khan. Has London got better in the 9 years that he's been in office? Answer me that question, please.
On crime, on Sharia no-go zones, I don't think anything that Donald Trump said is accurate.
No, that's not a question. Has London got better in the 9 years that Sadiq Khan has been mayor?
Some things have got better, some things have got
Name
worse.
one.
Well, I like going around London. I haven't lived here.
Name one that's got better.
I didn't live here 9 years ago. I couldn't tell you. What I can tell you is that I feel safe going around London. I think that Sadiq Khan pretty much represents what I stand for. It's a welcoming city. I welcome that. I think it's increasing its nightlife at the minute after Amy LeMay has left as nightlife czar. Things can get better. We shouldn't be so declinist about the state of this city.
London has not got better in the last 9 years. The one improvement that's been made is the Elizabeth line, but that, of course, was commissioned and construction started on that way before Sadiq Khan ever became mayor. That's the one major improvement in London. In just about every other factor, every other facet, from the leafy suburbs to the very centre of this great city, things have got roundly worse.
OK, let me bring in the rest of the panel. AJ, what do you think about Trump's comments regarding Sadiq Khan?
I think if somebody's going to call you sexist, misogynistic, Islamophobic, like, you're not going to take that it's not a very nice thing to say. And to have no facts to back it up, I think that's the one thing. I think when it comes down to London and feeling safer, I don't know how you can seriously sit there and say you feel safer. Like, the one thing, Winter Wonderland's just open right now. Like, whether you're walking past through Marble Arch and you do not feel safe, with literally, it appears to be like gangs of men sat there on the corner. Police are there like pretty much 24/7. You have dog units on both sides of the park 24/7, so migrants can't set up camp on one side. And then the bottom of Park Lane, the knife crime that just happened on Friday, and that encampment that's slowly getting bigger every single day, like, that's scary.
And families are supposed to go there and enjoy themselves. Welcome to London. Don't forget your stab vest.
Literally, when you walk into Winter Wonderland, the amount of security is insane. And so I can feel safe when I go through, but still, like, the fact of the matter, it has to be there. It's crazy.
I would hope that politicians on such a stage could, would not do this mudslinging. It makes everybody look unserious. David Lammy, we love to laugh at David Lammy. I love to laugh at David Lammy. But, his unserious comments about the President of the United States, and then Khan has done it, then Trump does it back. We've got serious problems in the world. We've got serious problems in this country. We need serious people. And I think all this mudslinging over Twitter and over social media, it's not helpful.
Yeah, it's definitely not helpful, that's for sure.
Certainly agree. Do you think Sadiq Khan's just apologised to Donald Trump?
I think you should. That's the best type of politics we love to see in this country. And I think you're totally right? People like to see people owning up to their mistakes and saying, you know what, I got this wrong, whether you're left or you're right. He could get some common ground here and actually gain some faith with Trump, because Trump, he sort of listens to the last thing somebody says to him.
I mean, when he came to the state visit, the Mayor of London should have been at that state visit. But because of his relationship with Donald Trump, he put our capital at risk. And that is one of the big problems when you fall out with a leader of the free world and you make such silly comments, even though Trump was, from the evidence that I presented at least, trying to at least extend an olive branch to the man. The man just couldn't put his tail between his legs.
I think you can see...
Lammy actually has, hasn't he? Lammy's almost apologised. He had chicken with him or whatever. He said he found common ground with him. So
there's a way of doing
this. It's just that Sadiq Khan, he's a small man.
He's a nasty, pious, revolting individual. And when you see the dismissive and disrespectful way that he dealt with Susan Hall in the London Assembly, that he as Mayor of London chairs in an effort to obfuscate, duck the truth, blatantly not answer the questions, and of course, what has happened subsequent to that? 9,000 rape gangs are being investigated.
Look, I think the man maybe has passed his sell-by date, but he's trying his best. He's got a really difficult job, and lots of people out there to get him. So I hope he gets a break soon, but who knows?
We'll leave it there. We'll give you a break now. Thanks for staying. I really appreciate it. My pleasure to have you.